If you know them, you love them. And Apache helicopter gunships are flying strike missions inside Iranian airspace and throughout the Strait of Hormuz at will. See, you only send these slow, low-flying, close air support platforms when the enemy has no meaningful air defenses left. Their presence is proof that Iran's air defenses are gone.
Very important point here, talking about the Apache helicopter, talking about the A-10 Warthog. Operation Epic Fury rolls on. First in the Apache, top speed 170 miles an hour. It can be a killer in these down low areas too, because the surface ceiling is 20,000 feet. If you had an effective air defense, 20,000 feet is nothing if it's effective and can hit it. But right now the Apache is operating in an area, a theater of war, that it can just do what it wants. So too with the Warthog. They've been trying to put the Warthog out of business for years, right? Been in service for 50 years. It's still doing it. Back during the Iraq War, it was a tank killer. Come on over here and I'll show you what's happened just in the past 24 hours. And as we did yesterday and the day before, I'll look at this area right here with that green dot. That's a confirmed airstrike. That is in the Strait of Hormuz. That's the town of Bandar Abbas, and you're going to hear a lot about it as the campaign continues to ramp up in that part of Iran. Here's the naval assets that are spread out, well covered just about everywhere. Retired Lieutenant General David Deptula, former commander of air operations over Iraq and the principal attack planner for the Desert Storm air campaign. You know it well. Based on the air campaign now, sir, and the devastating advantage, what's the next move and how important could it be to win this, to bring in ground troops?
Well, Bill, it's a great question. Let me start basically outlining the concepts of just what U.S. military doctrine embraces. They embrace a concept known as joint warfighting. I know you and Dana are familiar with it, but maybe perhaps some in the audience aren't. In a nutshell, it's really about using the right force at the right place at the right time to achieve a campaign's declared objectives. So it's not unusual to see Central Command contingency planning involve ground forces, particularly if diplomacy stalls and maritime pressure in the Gulf persists. Now, use of ground forces is not necessarily a preferred option because of the great risk of casualties. However, there may be options out there if there are objectives that cannot be accomplished any other way, such as physically securing Iran's enriched uranium, where they become very viable. That said, there are also some of the island seizing options that have been floating around that need to be addressed in the context of just exactly what effect does one want to achieve. So, you know, if seizing Karg Island is aimed at controlling Iranian shipping, the same thing can be accomplished by using air-delivered mines around that island. One doesn't need to seize the island and expose it. So this is an example of the kind of thinking in the context of effects or outcomes rather than just simply the traditional use of a particular type of force.
Okay. So but, there are Marines. There are Marines en route there. They'll be there and in position within days, and more will come after that. And then you got the 82nd Airborne Division. This delay until April 6th, is it diplomacy or is it a delay to get those forces in place?
It's a great question. With respect to the president's announced 10-day delay in attacks on Iran's oil infrastructure, this is a classic case of coercive diplomacy. What the president's doing is using very visible military pressure to improve its negotiating leverage while keeping one foot on the escalation ladder and one foot at the bargaining table.
On the map behind me, sir, Strait of Hormuz, you mentioned Karg Island up here around the area of Iraq. Do you think the Iranians can maintain control of that strait, that 21-mile strip of waterway that's so important to so many countries?
The short answer is, over time, no. They may be able to have an impact in the short term, but the plans that are in place for controlling Hormuz are ones that will ultimately provide the United States control of that region. And, you know, I know time's an issue, but I'd be happy to go through some of those means that are being planned, but ultimately we're going to control the straits, not the Iranians.
Last question here. When you look at the air supremacy on behalf of the Americans and the Israelis, I don't think historically you can point to a moment like this in the history of warfare. What compares in your mind?
Well, it is an extraordinary campaign, and U.S. and Israeli forces are delivering exceptional results. They haven't quite gotten up to the level of effort that was accomplished during Operation Desert Storm, 43-day campaign, where we engaged over 45,000 aim points. We're up at over 10,000 targets right now. But it is a magnificent example of the competence and the capability of U.S. and Israeli forces.
New standard, I'd say. General, it's good to have you on. Thanks for coming on. Interesting thoughts there. Lieutenant General Dave Deptula. Thank you, sir. We'll speak again.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.